So this right here is my Playdate. It is a tiny little handheld console with an LCD screen, a very Game Boy-like appearance, and a dockable crank handle. It is a very niche bit of kit, certainly not for everyone, but if it is for you, it'll be like 100% for you. If you're anything like me, you are likely to absolutely love it. I had to wait for a long time to get my hands on one of these, and since I got it a couple of months ago, I have been using it quite a lot. Lots of games I've been trying out, all sorts of weird and wonderful creations on there, but in terms of music generation and music themed software and music based games, there is a whole host of awesome stuff. It is a very capable piece of kit when it comes to audio, but one piece of software has really grabbed me, and it's a very simple bit of software. I think it's the simplicity that appealed to me, but it's like the old kind of little music boxes where you'd rotate the handle and it'll play the tune by a little barrel with pins on going past these little extended pieces of metal that will vibrate to a particular pitch. And I always used to love those, and I always thought it'd be great to be able to create your own tunes by choosing where to put the pins, and that is exactly what you can do with the Music Box software on here. I'll link it in the description. If you've got one of these and you've not tried Music Box before, definitely check it out. Now, this is not an in-depth review of the Playdate. It's very much about this Music Box software. Between you and me, I had a whole other video recorded and edited this week that was about fixing an Xbox controller. And then I sat down to play Xbox this morning and it wasn't fixed. So that video has been ditched. And I thought I want to do something else. And what would I want to share with you? Well, this is what I have been absolutely loving this week in my own time. So I always said with these videos, I want to just share what I'm into at the time, and this is very much what I'm into at the time. So take a look and see if you like it too. So this is the Playdate. You may have seen these before. It's a weird little crank operated handheld. It's just so niche but so awesome, so irresistible that I had to have one. I'd been on the waiting list for a long time before I eventually got one, and since I got it, I have played on it quite a lot. I've not got around to putting a video together for it yet. However, I've been playing a lot with a little piece of software called Music Box. So let's just open up the console, and this is Music Box. Now, it's like the old kind of crank handle music boxes, and it contains all the usual type of tunes like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Let's just give that a bit of a play, and you can rotate the handle to wind it up and then release for it to play. And you can change the crank mode to manual, which also means you basically like the old little music boxes, and even the animation is like the pins going past the little prongs to make the sounds. But the real beauty of this software is, if we go back to the menu, that you can compose your own tunes. So I have been playing with this quite a bit, and it is immensely satisfying. Let's just have a quick go at Lost Woods from Zelda. So we'll just wind it back a little. We'll change the crank mode to the wind up mode because it's just a bit more of a consistent speed. Wind it up. And you can specify the number of steps, so whatever tune it is you do, you can get it to loop over and over without an annoying gap in between. It's just wonderful. Anyway, let's go back to menu, play some other things I've made. So the thing with this is, let's just load up around the world. You can kind of take a bit of a liberty with tunes, so it's not necessarily a straightforward cover, it's more like in the style of. So this is like a Music Box rendition of Daft Punk's Around the World. So there's that. What else did I do? I've done Tetris. Because you have to do Tetris, don't you, really? Back to menu. I had a go at Just Like Heaven by The Cure. It didn't really work, but it's a decent enough little tune. We have to have a Rick roll with these things, don't we? I'll put you out of your misery with that one. Back to menu. I even had a mess about with a bit of Creed, just because I think this little intro ditty is perfect for the sort of music box. Give this a listen. And what else have I been working on? This was something. Oh, I know what this one was. This is a work in progress, but you'll recognize it. So let's go back to menu and we'll go all the way to the top. And we'll go to compose new tune. We'll just call it tune for now. So basically how it works is you've got all your little pins across the top that are different notes, and you can just move across to place them. So, and then you can use the crank to test it. So let's say we do like a bit of a Mario intro. So about down here we'd have. Now if you haven't quite got the note that you want, I mean that is the right note, but say we wanted a different note, you just press B and go into the menu and you can go adjust notes, and you can go to the note that you're on and you can increase it to sharps, flats, any note you like. You can go all the way up through the scale. So if you are missing the note that you need, you can program it in there. What I've tended to do is just kind of tuck those in over at the side if that's a bit that's not being used. So then if we come back out of that, save notes, and then just go back on the thing, so we can go. And you can kind of quite easily drop in chords just by putting a note a few before. There is a theory to this, isn't there? I just do it trial and error, really, see what sounds right. See, that sounds right, doesn't it? And if you put a note there, it doesn't really. And that one does. So you could get your major, minor chords, whatever else. So there we go. So we could do that, and we can just, you can actually, instead of cranking the handle, you can hold the button as well on the D-pad and just. And that's pretty much it. And then, like I say, you can change your so that tells me here I'm on step 15, and you can just change the length, and you can go through that by going up and down, or again, you can crank the handle, and it depends on how fast you turn the handle. You can go up or down, you know, lots of different speeds, and then you just save that, come back out, and then when you're done with it, you just go on save and close. Save, yes. And then you can, if you've called it just tune and you think, oh, actually that was quite good, then you, as you open it, you can go to rename. So we can delete what's there and rename it as Mario, and then OK, and then that's now called Mario. And then if we go to play, it loads it up like this. Now it's got far too many steps, but basically again, we can wind it up, we can let it play. And if it feels like it's not going at the right sort of speed, first of all, I'll change to manual crank mode because I've got loads of empty space after it. And you can change the play speed if you've got it on the non-manual mode. What was that called? Wind up. Yeah, on the wind up mode, you can change the play speed, so you can change your BPM effectively. But if we come back out of that now, we can wind it all the way back, and we've got our little tune. It's cool, isn't it? Now, so that is basically all I wanted to show you on this today, but I have been having fun linking it with some effects as well. So I think we'll go back to the menu. We'll do a little bit of unplugging and replugging. So I've got my Korg NTS1. Let's see, which one should we go with? I'm going to go back to One Last Breath. I'm quite pleased with that one. So we'll go and play with that, and I'll just wind it all the way up. So we'll need to go on to crank mode, wind up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with some of the reverb and delay effects on this as I loop it through, and you can see it just sounds magical, I suppose, is the word for it. Even if it is a Creed song, that may affect whether you like it or not. I'm quite fond of that one. So anyway, so crank mode is on wind up. We'll go back on there. We'll wind it all the way up. It slows down beautifully at the end when your wind ups run out as well. So we'll see if we get to that. Right, so it was getting noisy earlier, so we are back again. So, for example, if I was to set up some of the delays on this, we'll go on the chorus and the stereo delay, and then the space reverb, and we'll turn all of those down, and we'll set one of these off. Let's go with Lost Woods. So we'll wind it up. We'll change to a different tune now we've got that set up with the effect. Let's go on that one. Wind it. And I'll wind it just a bit so you can see the slowdown as well. It's quite effective, isn't it? So there we are, Music Box, and maybe your first look at the Playdate. If you haven't seen it before on any other videos, it is such a great little machine, but as I said before, it is not for everyone. So I'll be putting together some more videos about this thing in future, and to be honest, now's a good time to ask. If you've got any questions about this thing, or anything you'd like me to show you, or anything you'd like me to discuss, let me know in the comments and I'll try and put it all together into a general feature about this cute little piece of kit that I just can't stop playing on. Before I sign off, quick shout out to Z Labs for supporting this channel by providing me with the affiliate link you'll find in the description. If you want to get into modding, you can buy all sorts of cool stuff for modding Game Boys, consoles, handhelds, controllers, tools for working with it. Go and take a look on the website. If there's anything that takes your fancy, it's a discounted link, and if you buy anything, you'll be supporting my channel. Now, if you are familiar with this channel, you will know that this is not my first foray into making music with little cute handhelds. I've been a big fan of LSDJ that you can use to make chiptune music on Nintendo Game Boys for many years now, and more recently I've spent time learning how to use a really cool bit of software called Stepper that works on Game Boy Advance. I put together a tutorial for that. If you are curious, you might want to go and check out the video that I'll leave a link for up here. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.